Yeah, I think one of the things that I love to do, Ben, is listen to interviews of people that have usually a business that they've created, and I love going back. I love going back into their story when they go, back in the early 2000s, this is what I was doing. Back in the 2010s, this is what I was doing. And I think what I'd like to say to MC and everyone who's listening to this is in 2030, Ben, if we all fast forward, we will actually come back and we will have conversations with people that talk about what they did back in 2022 and what they did in 2023 and what they did in 24 and some of the ways that they found nuances in the market that allowed them to get ahead, right? So I guess the message for MC is this: yeah, we get it, right? You're in a window of time where it's more challenging than someone who started in 2017, but someone is doing it, and that someone can be you, and that might mean that you need to go and buy a one-bedroom flat in a big city that allows you to be able to get in at a higher LVR, and maybe the growth isn't as great on that property, but the discipline around you having that security of home and also having the I guess the discipline of paying some of that down. So you're creating the equity, and then hopefully there's some growth in it as well. That's one. Or you might say, I've got to move out to, we're Victorian based, but I might need to move to Ballarat. I might need to move to
Mm.
Bendigo. I might need to move to Shepparton. I might need to move to Albury. Whatever it takes to then go. I can get on the ladder and then build up some form of equity that allows you to do it. But it's the frog that's going across the lily pads on the pond to get the other side. That people, because the argument is, well, what are you and Ben? No, you guys built it
Mm.
before 2017 as well. Yeah, but there was challenges and stuff that we had to overcome as well. So, I I just want to say to this listener and to anyone who finds himself in this situation, you can be the first person in your circumstances and in your family tree or in your social circle that says, "Stuff it! I'm just not going to let this happen to me." Right? Um, I will find the nuances. I will find the where water finds its own level, so that I actually can get on, so that then I can actually build the momentum. Then you'll be the person that in 2030 and 2040 that looks back and says, "This is what I did, and this is what I need to overcome, and this is the nuance, and this is the lender I needed to use, and these are the chess pieces that I needed to make." So that I could actually get it done. Because you're right, Ben. You do need equity, and you do need income, and we've got yields that are dropping across the board. So I think I think I want to still encourage you, MC. The other thing is, contribute to your super so that you can
Mm.
take whatever government assistance they allow you to get into property. You might want to dollar cost average into some ETFs, into managed funds that allow you to, at a smaller incremental chip, build up the ability to save for that deposit. There is a need to be creative in how you build that initial requirement of that equity and the initial requirement of income. The other thing, Ben, is finding someone else who is exactly the same as you, who has exactly the same path. No bank of mum and dad, no silver spoon, no born pre to start pre, and get together and look for the nuances in the lending that allow you to actually pull resources and get in and have an exit plan that allows you to then cut your own individual path as well. So I feel like I get you, MC. It's certainly more difficult, but it's certainly not impossible.
Yeah, I want to build on what you're saying there, Bryce, around this. So, necessity is the mother of invention. What MC is highlighting to us is it's hard to get access to money and it's hard to get access to a deposit in terms of that. So, team up to Bryce's point, and we're seeing some new lending opportunities starting to emerge, in terms of products meeting the market. And we'll see more and more of these types of products that allow for helping build the deposit up or shared equity or whatever that is. But joint ventures, which 10 years ago we were probably saying we're a little bit more scared of those types of things in terms of getting that. But that's usually for younger people who just don't know their direction. For the sandwich generation of women and or men who find themselves in their mid 40s, the brother might be able to help out. But when we say help out, it's actually we're going to buy a 50-50 stake or whatever that may look like, 75-25 stake in a property. And some of these new lending products, where we talk about, in the past, we said one of the biggest risks was joint and several liability attached to the mortgage. Well, if you go tenants in common, and you work out the percentage of what tenancy or ownership you have, and you find a lender that doesn't have that joint and several liability, meaning that what the lender's structuring up in the loan documents is your liability is only on your portion of the lending, and your fellow investor or owner of that property's, their portion is only proportion to their lending. So it's almost like isolating it out, that they can't chase any of the extra money. And they're doing that because usually the loan to value ratios are lower on those types of products, which means that their risk of not getting their loans back is actually going to be quite low. So that's the type of product innovation we're going to continue to see in terms of combating that challenge. But as we say, what you don't want to do is you want to let the market be the market. The more you try to influence the market generally, you're going to have stagnation, and you're basically going to impact the market more generally.